All right, looks like we are live. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Try to sneak in a quick live stream here. So hopefully you can hear me. We'll just give everybody an opportunity to show up and join the chat. So everybody else, just hang tight. Julia, what up?
Excellent.
Get to the chopper!
What up? What up? What's going on, Jill Chopper? What's up, Tony? Good to see you. Barely hanging on. What's that song? Hold on loosely. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. I think that's an 80s song. Good to see you, Jari. In the house. In the heezy, baby. Feels like the calm before the storm. I don't think so, Tony. I think that this little fringe satanic cult that's been kind of being manipulated by a political party. I think they've been waging a war for the last probably, I don't know, 9 years. We just haven't noticed. They're like fighting with all their might. But now people are starting to notice. Chopper, can't sleep here. Everyone asleep in my house, just thinking how mad the world is. See, now that's what they want. They want you to feel like they want you to be desperate. When you're desperate, you need the government. All right. Can't control your emotions. It begins to affect your finances. Government, please step in and help me. Stay the course. Stay the course. Hold. It's like that scene in Braveheart where they made those spears, you know. Some are longer than others. William Wallace tells them, hold. They get all anxious, right? Well, we got to pull up our spears and we got to start stabbing these guys. He says, hold. And then right at the last minute, they lift their spears. You have to be patient. Sometimes success depends on your patience. That's what I've learned. Good to see you, Jill. So I think today we'll cover a little bit of news. Let's see. Some of the stuff I have lined up here. Of course, what happened with Charlie Kirk. We'll talk a little bit about the aftermath. Shooter made sick jokes just hours before the killing. And his roommate / partner has not been charged. He's cooperating. Then we'll look at the murder of a Ukrainian refugee. I think it's Irina Sarutska. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that story. The young woman who was stabbed in the neck simply for choosing to sit on the bus. Crazy. Uh, 38-year-old cold case solved. Des Moines mother, Jamita Hines. Murder is linked to a suspect. So that's breaking news. Talk about that. So right now, it's in a Dateline spotlight. 22-year-old mother, Jamita Hines, was murdered in 1987 in Des Moines, Iowa. Police now believe they have identified the killer through DNA evidence, but lack sufficient proof for charges after 38 years. Damn. The case involving a brutal stabbing has renewed calls for advanced forensics in cold cases. Families of victims in similar unsolved murders, like the 2022 University of Idaho killings, are pushing to block graphic photo releases. I think it should just be automatic, right? If you have new technology, just start testing. Why can't you test everything? If you have a cold case and you haven't tested it to DNA technology, the fuck are you doing? Oh, enough time has gone by. Nobody's going to notice. You have to make a fuss because law enforcement's they're going to prioritize things according to them. But if you make up a fuss, you now yourself one of those elements that they're considering, that they're taking into consideration. So if you can make a fuss, maybe turn it into like a high profile case like they did with the Delphi murders. They made the family made a huge push, and it made a world of difference. So when you do that, it's like putting your thumb on the scale, right? Law enforcement's like, okay, how are we going to prioritize all these cold cases? Well, over here, you got the Sleuth crew and a bunch of online weirdos. They're making a huge fuss over here about this case. Starting to draw a lot of negative attention towards us as a precinct. Maybe we could take a look at that. Try to silence a little bit of that. So in order to play the game, I guess you got to get out on the field. Let's see. Pittsburgh drowning ruled homicide. Missing man found in river. The death of a Pittsburgh man, initially thought to be an accidental drowning, has been reclassified as homicide after his body was found in the Allegheny River. Authorities suspect foul play and what was reported as a disappearance. This echoes broader concerns about staged drownings in true crime communities, with advocates calling for reviews of similar water-related cases. Absolutely. That pisses me off. We had a huge case here in Phoenix that I was covering. We waited, I think it was 6 weeks before we got the information from the coroner's office, and they ruled it a drowning. I mean, it was an obvious homicide, in my opinion. And think about it. A killer, that would just be so easy, right? You kidnap your victim, you get them, once you're done with them, you get them all drugged up and drunk, and you just walk them out into the water and hold their head under. I think they're referred to as the smiley face killings. Not to be confused with the happy face killer. What's up, Sensei? Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this was interesting. Fox News host Brian Kilmeade sparks outrage over homeless euthanasia comments. Yeah, let's pull that shit up. I'm telling you guys, we are entering into the dark ages, the real dark ages. Here, maybe I'll pull up X. This guy was talking about sneaking up and killing the homeless people with syringes, with injections. The hell? Like how? He just said it like so nonchalantly. Like, yeah, we'll just kill him. All right, bear with me. I'm just pulling up this video here. All right, here we go. Seems very quiet. You guys might have trouble hearing this, but let's put it up. Yeah, I think I saw this last night when I was laying in bed. I was kind of scrolling through X. And I was like, what the hell? People are just cold-blooded.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right. I would say this: we're not voting for the right people.
Why aren't they arguing with him? They didn't go, what? They said, how did we get here? Look, bitch, ain't no we. What, do you got a mouse in your pocket? You went to Crazy Town. You and your little funky fox bunch here. You're going to go around killing the homeless people. Like, what the?
Or involuntary lethal injection or something.
Involuntary lethal injection. Okay, let me get this right. So because you're homeless and you don't want to participate in any of these fucking government funded programs, and you don't want to do what they tell you to do, it's either you get locked up or involuntary lethal injection. Oh my goodness. No wonder why you got people on rooftops trying to freaking assassinate us. Because you got Fox News perpetrating like they're conservative, Christian, a bunch of fucking phonies. Bunch of phonies.
Something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did
Just kill him, he said. Here, we missed that part. Here, I'm going to play the whole thing. Well, at least his part.
Give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it
Just
have to
kill
get to
him.
this point?
Right. I would say this: we're not voting for the right people.
Or just kill him. This has to be taken out of context somehow.
Or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian,
Just kill him. Just kill the motherfucker. Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're in trouble. Tony, you're right. Tony was right. What's up, Rodolfo? I feel the government is trying to use Charlie's death to present something very ugly and inconceivable. Extensive censoring and controlling of social media. The resistance will prevail if they try that. That's true, Rodolfo. And that could be why we have the left wing and the right wing, right? They go to the right wing when they need to control those folks. And then when they need to manipulate those folks, they go back to the left. But still, they just continue pushing the same agenda, right? Just with a different mask. Oh, this next 4 years, we'll be on the right. We'll manipulate that group. And then when they start catching on, we'll bounce over here. We'll keep them separated, keep them at each other's throats. But what I'm trying to get at is if you censor the left, just like the left was trying to censor the right so much when Trump was originally running for president, you're really asking for censorship on yourself. Because no matter what political party you belong to, we're still only protected under one law, right? There's no separate laws for liberals and conservatives. We're all protected under the same law. So we have to figure out how to live together under that umbrella. Cryptex says the guy was talking about murderers. I listened to the whole video. The clip is taken out of context. Yeah, it must have been. Here, let me read a little bit more about that. Fox News' Brian Kilmeade suggested euthanizing homeless people with mental health issues as a solution. drawing comparisons to state-sponsored murder. Critics, including Marianne Williamson, highlighted the veteran-heavy homeless population and demanded accountability. No formal repercussions from Fox have been announced, amplifying debates on media ethics and true crime narratives. The High Wycombe arrest. A 65-year-old woman was arrested on suspicion of murder after a body was found in Buckinghamshire, UK. Details are limited, but locals described it as a targeted domestic incident. Chevy Chase cold case, recently featured on 2020, ABC's 2020 Spotlight. A 23-year-old Montgomery County, Maryland murder solved via DNA, involving a family twist. Good to see you, She Warrior. What up? Cryptex. What else did I miss? Sensei Wackadoodle. I got something for you.
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition.
Yes, Sensei. CJK, what up? Scott, good to see you. Meanwhile, people down the middle with common sense suffer. Good to see you, Scott. Scorpio Rising, what up? Barbara Hall, welcome in. All right, let's see what other news we got here. So apparently, people who were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death publicly, a lot of them have lost their jobs. How do you guys feel about that? Whatever happened to the First Amendment? I guess the First Amendment doesn't apply to work, right? That's like a private entity. People need to learn the difference. If I hire you, let's say I hire you to work for Sleuth Intuition, an assistant or a reporter or something like that. And you say, yep, I promise to follow all of these things. I'll sign right here. Yep, I promise to do those things. And then behind the scenes, you start doing all this crazy shit and people find out you work for me. That's going to look poorly on me. Or vice versa. If I work for you and I go around pushing like some kind of radical, violent agenda, I think as a business owner or something like that, you should be able to fire that person. Right? We've decided to go in another direction. Look, I'm going to give you a choice. You could quit now, or I could fire you. You could quit and have some dignity, or I can fire you and owe you unemployment. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to say that part. Well, you could quit, or I could fire you. Which one? Well, you know what? I fucking quit. All right. Well, you don't get any unemployment now. So thanks. Oh, shit. We got the 20-month flex with the bicep. Saying, thanks, Sleuth. How's the little man doing? He's doing great. Had a little chance to kind of sneak away. Hope Miss Sleuth is doing okay, too. She's doing great. She's still kind of recovering. Yep. Things are going good. People need to chill one way or the other. A person died that shouldn't. Yeah, and the way it happened as well. People are going to be reading about this probably in the history books. because it was a political assassination. I mean, Charlie Kirk was definitely headed to the White House, probably as the youngest president ever. So let's dive into that. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at a Utah event on September 10th. The suspect, identified as left-leaning individual with a history of anti-fascist rhetoric, was arrested Friday. New details reveal the shooter exchanged ominous messages and made jokes about the plot with at least 20 associates hours before the attack, including on Discord. So you guys remember when I was trying to get into the mind of the killer? And my intuition told me he was this really smart guy, remember? Before I knew anything about him, I said he could do anything. He could pick this guy right here, just by what I know, could accomplish anything, right? He got in there, he achieved his objective and got out of there. It takes not only, you got to have some kind of brains to not go stumbling around while you're attempting something like this. Guy was obviously smart, but I could also picture him going into a university for the first time and being indoctrinated and sitting around a bunch of wild, weird leftists, Marxists, and starting to get into his head. You know, he becomes friends with them, maybe roommates, whatever, but they're able to manipulate him. So once they've radicalized him, he's still the smart kid, right? Amazing SAT scores, his future is bright. If anybody's going to get the job done, it was going to be him. And that's what I said early on, before I knew this guy was a fucking math whiz. You could just tell he wanted to impress his friends. Once you don't have to change the world to get what you want. All you have to do is change somebody's perception of it, and then you can control them. And that's what's happening right now to a lot of Americans. They're being told, hey, look, our political enemies, we want you to look at them like they're Hitler, like they're evil, right? It's that age-old question. If you could go back in time and kill baby Hitler, would you? A lot of people will say yes. That's what this is. So once they believe Charlie Kirk is Hitler, that's what they're doing. They're getting ahead of it. I don't need to go back in time. Here's the next Hitler right here. Same with Donald Trump, right? They almost took his head off too. But it's just not the truth, right? It's just not true. CJK, inciting violence and glorifying cold-blooded murder of an innocent man should not be tolerated for anyone. It shouldn't, right? Just like the Ku Klux Klan. So I remember as a kid, I used to watch them at their rallies and everybody just laughed at them. You know, it's fucking hilarious. That's what I want to happen to these people that are glorifying what happened to Charlie Kirk. I want them to be looked at like we look at the Ku Klux Klan or neo-Nazis. We just laugh at them. Like they're not threatening. They're not scary. Or maybe we have been looking at them like that. And they're trying to change that. I'm not sure. She Warrior says, I had a coworker get fired probably about 4 years ago for flying a rebel flag in the back of his truck. See, now that's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit right there. You should have every right to do that. That's free speech. Well, my Marxist professor told me that that's racist. Right? The rebels fought for slavery. Well, yeah. But the Republican Party is the party of the black man, was the party against the Ku Klux Klan, was the party of Lincoln. And they assassinated him too, the same way they did to Charlie. Republicans didn't create the Ku Klux Klan. The Democratic Party did. Well, at least the members that created the Ku Klux Klan were Democrats. What's up, Brandon? A lot of people don't know that. Julia, for losing their job depends on their job, depends on what exactly they said. Anybody celebrating Charlie's death is a piece of shit. But it's hard to fire people who are unemployed. Damn. Whew. Quite the burn. That was a good one.
Excellent.
Excellent. You get a gold star. Brandon, the assassination of Charlie Kirk awoken a sleeping giant, and that's not hyperbole. Yeah, I mean, it did manipulate me emotionally. That's for sure. I mean, I'll admit it. I was traumatized by it. They're having right now. They're doing a memorial downtown, and it's not far from where I live. I was gonna head down there, but I just couldn't find the time. But apparently, some crazy left lunatic came running through there trying to start shit, all dressed in black, right? Those are the signs of the Satanism, guys. And I'm not saying everybody that likes to dress in black is a Satanist, but I'm telling you, that's one of the signs. They love to wear black. Love to wear black, pentagrams. They love Aleister Crowley for some reason, right? They hate religion. They hate Christ. So these are the telltale signs. We have now actually, we're in a spiritual battle. So I don't know, at what point do we just come out and sound like a lunatic and just say that out loud? Like, is it not obvious? We got double egged. Miss Dog Lover with the super chat. Thank you. Hey, Sleuth, is that chat open? The Charlotte train stabbing has upset me. Oh, yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, we can talk about that. Is it Arena Zarutska? Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death on a Charlotte, North Carolina train last week. The suspect faces federal hate charges, with the DOJ demanding the death penalty. Ukrainian officials, including Andriy Yermak, condemned the killings as a war-related tragedy. But U.S. commentators accuse outraged merchants of exploiting it anti-immigration rhetoric while ignoring domestic violence against refugees. President Biden promised a personal review. Oh, can you still read there, buddy? Social media highlights Ukraine's muted initial response, with some users questioning U.S. aid priorities amid urban crime spikes. Always want to make it political. The beautiful part of this story was that the government offered to fly her body home to be with her family, or to be in her home country. But some of her family that still remains in the U.S. says, no, we don't want that. We're going to bury her in the United States of America. She loved the U.S., and that's why she was here, right? Thank goodness she was able to get away from that crazy shit out there. But unfortunately, the streets, they're not safe right now. I guess they never have been safe, honestly. Let's pull that up. Of course, we're not going to show that gruesome video, but let's take a look. Let's see. Making sure this is an edited version. Here, maybe I don't even have to show this.
take that into consideration. Look, a young woman is dead. Let's take that into consideration. And yes, a man who should have been behind bars was loose and out.
Well, he should have been.
Listen.
Yeah.
He was a schizophrenic man. His mother.
Oh, The View. Oh my goodness. So here's what happened. It looks like she just kind of stepped on the bus and sat down. I can't tell if she's wearing like a uniform for like a pizzeria or something. I'm not sure. But either way, she just simply sat down. The man that was sitting behind her stood up and stabbed her in the neck and said, "I got that white bitch." Thank you, Miss Doglover. It's obvious for spiritual warfare. I hope so. Because I feel like people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. Hey, wife Lilith, what up? Hope your family's doing well. And baby, yeah, Cal's doing great. Happy Sunday to you. The NRA was created in the 1870s to help poor whites and freed blacks to defend themselves from a possible oppressive government. And that's what I'm saying, Brandon. You don't have to change the world, right? That sounds very difficult. That sounds like hard work. All you have to do is change somebody's perception of the world. And that's what's happening. People hate the NRA. They hate the Second Amendment because the people who are trying to gain control over the country made that happen. They would like to overthrow the United States of America. You cannot have a free society where we're at right now in civilization with the technology and the amount of resources and power. The United States, frankly, is standing in the way. It was a Masonic experiment that they no longer can control. And in order to keep it, we have to not allow these people to take it. You never exchange your freedom for security. Because if you do, you don't deserve either one. In a free society, all you can do is help and hope that people are going to become less desperate. Because only desperate people are doing things like this on a bus. People who are suffering from mental health. People that don't have money in the bank. People that don't have support from their family. Obviously, they don't have their own transportation. Not saying there's anything wrong with public transportation. It's great for the environment. I'm just saying, typically, when you have everything going the way that you want, you're not taking the bus. You have other options to be good to the environment, right? Driving electric vehicles or whatever. If you're not struggling and you're not desperate and you're not depressed and you're not anxious, you're not stabbing people in the neck on a bus. That's all. Right? No one helped her. That is the horrible, shameful thing. Well, shit, this isn't nothing new to a lot of the people in the hood. The only reason people are paying attention is because it's this Ukrainian white lady. That's how these black folks feel on the bus. Like, hey, this shit happens all the time. Don't look. If you don't want to become part of it, don't look. Don't look and don't say nothing. Could have knocked him out and she could get help. Well, he obviously targeted her because she was white. And she appeared to be the only white person on the bus, so I'm sure they all felt safe. Not to mention they might know this guy. And a lot of times when you're living in a low income area, retaliation is a must, right? If you tell on me, if I can't get you, I'm going to send my brother, my friends, I'm going to send my crew. And we're going to make an example out of you. People living in the suburbs don't have to deal with that shit, but unfortunately, the people that live in the ghetto do. That's why I believe that all of the attention should be focused there, and that's why I'm against open immigration like the way that Biden was doing it, because all of those jobs, as you see now, are going to poor black, poor Mexican, poor white Americans. They need those jobs. It'll trickle on down to the economy and benefit us all eventually. If we could all just continue to work hard, love God, believe in a family, like, you will be happy. Things will work out. That's why they're trying to destroy the family, trying to get everybody on welfare. They're trying to do the exact opposite of all of the good things, right? All of the godly things. They just want to take it away, flip it upside down. That's how you destroy society. And that's how you make everybody crazy. And that's how you control them. Because if every day you could get people to act like the way this man is acting, we will come begging to the government. Oh my goodness, I need security. I need it. I needs it. Oh, I'm glad that you asked. Here's the Patriot Act. Burnt. And the mayor is in the lead for re-election in that North Carolina town after calling for people to stop talking about that brutal murder. Well, if he wants us to stop talking, I think we should talk about it more. Imagine reading a text on the bus and you feel a strange sensation in your neck, on all around your neck, some pressure, like maybe you're being punched. And then you realize that your neck is squirting out blood. What are you going to do? How do you reconcile your entire life with an unsuspecting attack like that? This is exactly what happened to Libby. She was brutally attacked in this same fashion. Notice that there's nothing spraying anywhere or anything like that. But right now, this young woman is bleeding out, and nobody's going to help her. And even if they called an ambulance, it's too late for her. This man went directly to one of the most important and vital areas of your body when it comes to blood flow, your carotid artery. So that was her rich guy right there. That man. That's her Richard Allen. People don't step in the London either. Don't stop. Don't step in. Stop or step? I don't know what it was, Scott. It's like I think it was just her skin color. Yep, she got on, sat down, pulled up her phone, was just trying to kill the time. And the moment she sat down, he started looking around like he had already made the decision. Like, oh, what the fuck? She thinks she can sit in front of me. I'm going to kill this white girl. And that also plays a part. Politics plays a part in that too. Like creating this image that white people are evil, this white privilege. So this is all part of the anger that they're trying to create. It's all part of this ideological subversion that I keep mentioning. It's all part of the game plan. Racial, right? Helter skelter, anything to divide. It's all part of the same plan. All right, let's continue on here and see what else we got. Let's see. There's a Camden, New Jersey dismemberment case. Jeez. This happens way more often than I could have ever expected. Before I got into true crime, I thought for sure every dismemberment was a high profile case. Now I'm learning almost every murder case includes dismemberment. Like, we are not safe. We are not safe. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. You have to be careful. You have to protect your family. Watch everybody. Let's see. Everton Thomas, 41, is charged with the murder of Harold Miller Jr. Thomas allegedly involved his wife and son in dismembering the body with a chainsaw before disposing of the remains. Surveillance footage showed Miller entering Thomas's home with a gunshot heard soon after. The car belonging to Miller was later moved. And at the residence, investigators found cleaning supplies, trash bags used for disposal, suspected bloodstains, etc. Thomas to Canada, but was arrested upon re-entry. His wife and son are also in custody. Let's take a look at these freaks. Everton Thomas. See if I can pull up a news report about this case. Everything wants to take me to Instagram. Like, no thanks. Here, let's just pull up these images. Let's see, Newsweek. I guess we can go there. Take this down. What the hell? I don't know. This website's fucking with my computer. Let me just pull up the image. There we go. These guys right here. So Everton Thomas, 41, is charged with the murder of Harold Miller Jr. So he killed the guy and had his wife and son. Damn, that's crazy to me. It's like the real Addams family. Yeah, me too, Miss Dog Lover. I probably would have fucked him up too. What's up, Frank? Right? A lot of people are, Rodolfo. A lot of people are. We've had similar things in the UK with men taking the guy down. Hey, practical living. Watching that young lady really saddened me. She was a sweet, innocent girl. You could tell her reaction. Yeah, she was like, how could this happen to me? She's like, I know that I'm dying. Like, this man just stabbed me in my neck. Like, why would he do that? My life is over. Like, how do you just die in peace at that moment? It's just not the way to go. It wasn't fair. 27 seconds for her to collapse. That's when people started to try and help. In their defense, Sensei, if they weren't looking at this man, like, there's no reason to be paying attention over there, right? He just jumped up. There wasn't an argument. There wasn't an exchange of words. There wasn't anything. She just sat down, right? The bus is quiet. Nobody's looking at her. Nobody's looking at him. He just jumps up and starts stabbing her in the neck. You're not really see it. You might just kind of see him walking in the aisle. So, and she's just there in shock. She's like, what the hell happened to me? She's kind of grabbing her neck. The only people that really took notice were those who saw the blood dropping from his hand. That's how much blood there was. And that's probably when it hit the artery, it came squirting out. Is what most likely happened a few times. So if you just see this guy get up and her kind of make a grunt noise, like grunting, you're going to kind of be like, what happened? Like, okay, nothing. Maybe he just bumped into her. And then she falls over. And then you're like, oh shit, something really bad is happening. So in their defense, maybe they didn't really see, and she wasn't really giving much of a reaction. So if you're sitting behind her, all you're seeing is her sitting still and a man walking down the aisle. You really don't know what's going on. There's no yelling. There's no screaming. Just very odd. Yeah, that's true. It's called your instincts. Less phones and more courage makes a difference. Well, you need to have courageous people to find courage. I don't know if we have any more of those people left. I know some of us would do the right thing. I have no doubt about that. If not most of us here. All right, guys, this is going to be our 10-minute warning. Is there anything you want to dive into? Any cases that you've been covering? Oh, shit, I missed you, Fishy. What's up? Good to see you. There's the Cash App if you guys want to support my channel financially. Throw a tip my way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We are 100% crowd funded, so every little bit helps, and it is much appreciated. But if you can't do that, if you can't hit the Cash App, just hit the like button. He raised his hands above his head, though. I mean, I'm not looking, right? If I'm on the bus sitting there for 10, 20, 30 minutes, I'm just looking at my phone or out the window thinking like, damn, I fucking hate the bus. Back in the day, I used to take the bus. I lived in Tempe, Arizona. You didn't need a car for shit out there. It was like New York. Just busy, bustling. Everything 5 minutes away. A bus coming every 5 minutes. So when you're young, you don't give a shit. Got all the time in the world. Shit, I used to run places, ride my bike. Didn't bother me. All right, let's see what else I pulled up. Georgia police officer shooting. A man identified as Timothy Craig Ramsey, 26, has been arrested for allegedly shooting McKaysville police captain Brantley Worley in the throat. The shooting happened during a service call. The suspect fled in a distinctive bright green chemical suit outfit. Ramsey was captured after being on the run thanks to a tip from a local resident. The officer is in stable condition. Oh, that reminds me of another story. Hold on. Yeah, check this shit out.
Sir?
I could not believe my eyes when I saw this. This is one reason you don't call the police. Here, this is probably the best example of why it's not a good idea to call law enforcement. Watch this body cam footage.
Sheriff's office!
You ready?
Anybody home?
I didn't
Hey, I didn't shoot you. I did.
Yeah, you did. You shot me. You told me to open the door, and then you shot me. Why is this idiot pointing his gun at the door anyway, when you know the homeowners are there?
Yes, you did. I did not. No, you guys, bro. Is anybody hurt inside? No, bro. They were outside. You shot me.
Shot him in the.
Man, come on, man. That wasn't me, my man. Damn. I pulled my gun out there. You said come outside, bro. You shot me. What the bro?
What the fuck?
Jesus.
911. What's your emergency? Oh, somebody's breaking in my house. All right, I'll send somebody over there to shoot you in the leg. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'll open the door when you guys ask me to open the door. Jeez. Let me check my email real quick, Brandon. Yeah, do not call the cops. If your house was broken into and the guy's already gone, what do you need the cops for? Come waste your time? No thanks. Only time you should call the cops is if you need a gun. That's it. I did not get any emails. Let me refresh. Yep, nothing. Can you believe that? Man, they're so gun happy. They want to point their gun right at your fucking face every chance they get. It's disgusting. Barbara says, yeah, my son called the cops and we see where that got him. Yeah. It's just not going to help. I didn't get anything in my email. Here, I'll check again. I know sometimes it takes a while. Let's see. Nope, nothing. Check my spam. Nope, just a bunch of trolls in there that have been blocked. Sorry, trolls. I don't read those. I laugh, though, when I see them. But you go ahead and keep sending those emails. But, Brandon, I didn't get yours. What is AG? Ashley Garth, Anthony Greeno. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, did you guys see the video of Rick Snag getting arrested? That shit was fucking funny. Not that it's funny that he's getting arrested, but he was trying to snitch on his employer. Imagine giving somebody a job and they get pulled over and arrested for something they did, and they try to put it on you, I'd be like, God damn, you're ungrateful. That shit was funny though. It was the other guy. It was the one-armed man. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. Oh yeah, it's all over the internet right now, Jari. I found it on a channel that I had never even seen before. I was like, what is this? And then I saw it on Frank's channel too. But you know, Frank and Snay are going at it. But I was just like, damn, dude, you're just gonna fucking snitch on your employer like that? Oh man. I was like, God. I that's why I'm never friends with people. Because of people like that. They'll just turn their back on you in a second. But I don't know what you're referring to with this, Brandon. Just say it. We got 3 minutes. Yeah, Scott, they're all on power trips. Well, it's because most people don't know their rights, right? So cops they kind of get into the habit of pushing people around. Most people think they don't have any rights in the United States. That's why it's good for people to go out there and exercise those rights. So I like when people do First Amendment, Second Amendment audits, things like that. I really appreciate that. It benefits us all. Aw snap, Miss Dog Lover with the super chat. Come live in Cons London. Serious knife crime here. Yeah, I have heard that, Miss Dog Lover. See, the thing is we don't have a gun problem in the United States. We have a crime problem. Guns are just a really good tool, right? What would you rather use to build to frame a house? Nails and hammers or a nail gun? Or both? Right? A lot of people like to go in combat with a knife and a gun. Multiple guns. Maybe a sidearm and then a rifle, and then a nice big blade. But in some countries, you only get the one option. I don't know. All I know is that if they outlawed guns in the United States, I would still have one. And nobody would know about it. Right? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It's kind of the same thing with in the land of the unarmed, the one guy with the homemade AR is king. So the criminals are going to be the only ones with any power. How are you going to defeat? Let's say, okay, I'm so happy I voted to outlaw all the guns. We got rid of it. We did a cash buyback, right? Gave away all my guns. Everybody did it. My whole neighborhood, my whole family, everybody across the United States. It was beautiful. Okay. Next week, you get your door kicked in. This guy didn't give away his gun. As a matter of fact, it kind of looks homemade. Looks like a homemade shotgun. It's like a pipe with another pipe that he's shoving through the back of it just to ram into the back of the bullet. Is that even technically a gun? Oh, just got an email. All right, let me see what you got going on here, Brandon. Don't worry. I've never once done that. People have accused me of that. People have accused me. Who was it? Bossy? She tried to say that I threw out her phone number. On my kids, I would never do that. So she's a fucking liar. I don't need to get into online tiffs and quarrels and any of that bullshit. That's for you idiots. All right, guys, we are at the 1 hour mark. That's all the time I had. Lots to be done around here. If you need me, shoot me an email. Hit the Cash App if you can. If not, hit the like button. If you're part of the replay crew, you know exactly what to do. Leave a comment. We'll get back to you. And then also, we're going to be looking to go live a little bit later today and discuss the Delphi murders and the witness timeline. So if you guys haven't checked out my video that I put out today, go look at that now. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit later. So hopefully I'll see all you there. If not, take care of yourselves and be very, 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 very careful. Love you guys. Peace.